It seems that as long as there have been electric trains, there have been electric trains around Christmas trees. The same is true in my household, although in my case, the Christmas village has grown to the point of requiring a separate table rather than space under the tree. Hello again, this is Mike with another episode of Toy Train Tips and Tricks. Let's build my 2023 Christmas display, and maybe you can pick up on a few tricks for your train layouts along the way. In my house, from late November to early January, the trains are allowed to escape the friendly confines of the basement and to invade our everyday living space to entertain friends and family alike. I try to maximize this opportunity by making a display that is both festive and easy to build. First, I need a table and foundation. Just about any type of table will do. I'm commandeering the kids' foosball table for our holiday festivities. Last year, I made a foundation out of simple styrofoam panels, but I wanted something sturdier this year, and while scrounging the nooks and crannies of the basement, I found a pair of unused bifold closet doors. These create a firm yet simple base for the display. You can often find similar doors at your area building supply resale shop, like a Habitat for Humanity Restore. Together, the doors are about 36 inches by 70 inches. Good dimensions for a simple layout. After centering the doors on the table, I added a layer of styrofoam panels. These are sold in handy pre-cut packages, and they provide several functions such as sound deadening, and they also provide a simple yet effective snow texture for the layout. Also, it's easy to push scenery items and toothpicks for structural support into the foam panels. A few strategically placed strips of duct tape keep the panels from sliding around on the doors. Next, I scrounged through my collection of odd track and decided what type to use this year. I came across some old K-line Super Snap, but I didn't have quite enough to make the elongated oval that I wanted. MTH Real Tracks looks nice, but the plastic roadbed can be noisy and I don't want the trains interfering with other household activities. So it was tried and true O-gauge tinplate for this year's layout. Simple and effective, and also easy to add a wiring special effect that I'll show you shortly. I used 10 track pieces altogether, 8 O31 curves, and 2 40-inch straight sections. The individual pieces are a mix of Lionel and Menards products. On the long straight on the front side of the layout, I removed track pins from both outside rails and inserted insulating pins at both ends. I decided to use an old Marx signal to control power to this track section. When the signal is set to green, power flows through the track and the train runs through. When set to yellow or red, the power to both outside rails is cut and the train stops. Simple but effective animation for this basic layout. Even on this small layout, I added a second power feed to the track to guarantee good electrical continuity. One set of power feeds goes to the track with a detour through my Marx signal, and the second goes through a track lock-on on the back side of the layout. Both sets of wires go to the transformer for power. Speaking of power, I'm using a K-line Power Chief from 2004, which supplies more than enough wattage for this layout. After testing the track configuration, I used end nippers to tighten all the track connections for good physical and electrical contact. If you have a rail joint that is finicky, use a small zip tie to secure the ties of the two track pieces together. Next, I began setting out the ceramic buildings of our Christmas village. There are many styles and manufacturers to choose from, Limax, Department 56, and more. Our town is an old Americana village set that was sold by Kmart in the early 1990s. The buildings scale out to right around S-scale or comparable to traditional Plasticville or Marxville structures, which look right on toy train layouts. The house is not part of the original set, and in fact it's not ceramic, it's a candle, of all things, but it looks right with the others. The village buildings along with the trains are probably the most expensive part of the project. However, you don't need to be put off by sticker shock. First, you don't necessarily have to buy the entire town at once. Add a building here or there, year after year, and pretty soon you will have a pretty impressive collection. Second, you don't have to buy new for full retail. We bought our village during and after Christmas markdowns. Or try your local marketplace sites or yard sales. While some villages like Department 56 are collectible, most are not, but they can still provide a pleasant backdrop for your trains. To add visual interest, I wanted a mountain and tunnels. Vertical pieces of styrofoam are attached to the base by inserting wooden toothpicks through the foam. Cheap and easy. I roughed in the mountain and the village and tested all of the electrical components before putting the top on the mountain. One of the structure bulbs was burned out, but a trip to Walmart yielded a nightlight bulb that fit the bill. Once everything checked out, I added the top of my styrofoam mountain structure, again using wooden toothpicks as connectors. Then came scenery and details. The snow is fluffy buffalo snow. I pulled off small blobs out of the bag and stacked them strategically around the buildings, and I piled it up to make bigger mountains and the slope for our skiing and sledding. Yep, there's nothing there but a big pile of fluff. The people came from various sources. Some were purchased at my local Dollar Tree. The skiers and ice skaters were marketed by Model Power in the late 1990s, but similar figures can be found through Walmart, Amazon, and other sources today. The carolers are actually miniature Christmas tree ornaments. I just cut off the strings and I use them as figures. The trick is to keep your eyes and imagination open, and you don't know where you might find useful items. The most time-intensive scenery item on the layout is the frozen stream. Since I have a firm support under the layout, I outlined my stream banks and cut the foam where I wanted the stream to be. Then, I recycled a pie box from Thanksgiving and wrapped it in aluminum foil. Placing the foil wrap under the foam yields a shiny, ice-like surface for my skaters. An old Marx girder bridge and a ceramic village bridge accessory complete the scene. Trees are all commercially available, with some coming from Dollar Tree, and a large portion coming from a 16-pack variety I found at Walmart. The street lamps all came from Dollar Tree. Trees, street lamps, and people are secured in place using Gorilla brand poster hanging putty. Just a small dab is enough to keep everything in place. The streets were purchased at Dollar Tree last year, but again, Walmart carries similar items as well. I used Mod Podge to glue the streets to the foam. The tunnel portals were 3D printed. I customized them with one marked Noel and the other marked Yule. The files for these are posted on Thingiverse for free, thanks to user Count de Monet, or Count de Money. A link is included in the video description. Among the keys to effective scenery is making small scenes and injecting some humor. For example, near our ice skaters are two snowball-throwing figures. Are they fighting each other across the stream, or are they ambushing our skaters? On the ski slope, one of my skiers lost a ski over the years, so I decided to make him part of a humorous accident scene. Carolers entertained by the train station, and elsewhere a child is held up to place a star atop a Christmas tree display. These small vignettes make the overall display appear larger than it really is. Then it was just a matter of selecting the proper train to run. Turn it on and let it go. Overall, this project took me about 4 hours of actual work to complete, but that doesn't include letting the glue for the roads dry overnight. At the end of the season, nearly everything can be bagged up and reused next year, so it's very budget-friendly. Now, I can run trains without exiling myself to the basement for the holidays, and visiting friends get a glimpse of the joy of toy and model trains. A win-win. I hope you've picked up a tip or two for your own holiday layout, and if so, please like the video, share it, and leave us a comment about your holiday train traditions. In the meantime, have a very festive holiday, keep the trains running, and we'll catch you next time on Toy Train Tips and Tricks.